mascot.
Ooh, I'm just out of frame.
I moved over.
Yeah. We made it work before. There we go. There we go. They only need to see half of me.
Oh, Homer.
Just trying to think. My azaleas. I don't want that to spill. Sorry.
It's alright. We'll go back.
Once we're all situated, there should be no bumping.
Hello. Why can't I hear myself?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
It's not on.
There you go.
Hey!
Wow.
Forget about it.
Rookie mistake.
She did that before.
I've done that before. I've done that several times, actually.
Actually.
Now I can't hear anything.
Good. Just kidding.
Show's over.
There we go.
We get Joe's head in there.
Oh, welcome to the podcast. That's number one on your drunk dial list. Hashtag just saying. I went old school.
And quick.
I went old school. Okay. First thing, Joseph is back.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
Joseph. Joseph is back.
Thank you.
Joe's back. And what is your Coca-Cola name?
Tonight,
Sean.
my name, I am Antonio.
You're Antonio.
Antonio.
I'm never gonna remember that.
Welcome, Antonio.
Did you just call him Antonio?
Yeah.
What's my name? Antonio.
Antonio. Terrific.
Did you miss me?
Well, I saw you like 2 weeks ago. Or are you asking the public if they missed you?
I'm asking everybody.
Okay, raise your hand if you missed Joe. Raise your hand if you're sure. Sure about something? Yeah.
I'm half.
You're half?
Which
I'm
half?
unsure.
You're unsure. That's the world's worst deodorant. He really stinks. Why? Unsure. I like that joke.
That's a good one.
I might take that with me and put it in my pocket
Save it for later.
for later use. Okay.
Oh.
What? Oh.
Adjustments.
I'm always adjusting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say anything to that. So,
I'm always adjusting. Okay.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So, how is your week been? Joseph's been on vacation.
Woohoo!
Lucky bad.
Well, I might be on a permanent vacation soon, so.
It's been alright.
Yeah?
No complaints.
Really?
Oh. Except for that. Sean already had a complaint.
Don't. Oh, my goodness. No complaints? You haven't done anything crazy?
Celebrated my birthday, celebrated my fiance's birthday, helped Sean move,
Ish.
and now I'm here.
Helped him move-ish.
Ish.
Let me get some shit out of my basement.
It's actually more like a relocation program.
Yeah. Good exercise, though.
Oh, good
That's
exercise.
the only way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
How's your week been?
Less than stellar.
It sucked.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're like automating everything at my work. So I just keep getting told like eventually I'm going to get laid off. So this week I was finally like I've had enough of this. So I'm going to like start looking around. Which sucks, but you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So email me your job applications.
Best of luck.
Offers?
Yeah, email me a job offer. I'll probably take it.
Middleborough.
I'm pretty easy. South Shore only.
Yes.
Eh,
You need something local.
I'm really not willing to travel anymore.
So if you live outside the country, don't bother.
I know all the
She's gonna have to say no.
all the UK listeners. I appreciate it, but
We love our UK listeners.
yeah, you can. Never mind. Well, I was gonna. I don't want to get political, so I'll just leave it there.
Trump is in the UK today.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say you can keep him if you want.
Hanging out with the Queen.
Exchanging recipes.
I don't know what they were doing.
It's like, what do they do? Those field mics on NFL players
Oh yeah.
when they're playing and they mic them up, and they're always like, "Hey, so how are you? I'm great. Oh, do you have a good meatloaf recipe? Actually, I know a great thing you can do with leftover mashed potatoes. Email that to me. That'd be great."
Super.
I know. So. Uh-huh.
Huh?
Oh, as usual, we record the video version of the podcast. We post it up on YouTube.
YouTube.
You can check that out if you like.
If you like.
And you can like and subscribe if you like.
Please do. Tell a friend.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
Not just a friend.
Tell a neighbor if you like them.
Sabotage others.
Sabotage others? What does that mean?
Call like 10 of your friends or 10 neighbors.
Yeah.
Get them over together and say, I'm going to show you some cool thing. We're going to watch something cool tonight. And then put this show on.
Yeah, you
They can tell their friends, they can tell their friends, and...
I like lemonade.
Like a domino effect.
Yeah.
I tell you, the next door neighbor kid knocks on my door the other day. Yeah. And I open up the door, and he was like around the corner from the door. So I'm holding the dog, and I'm like, yeah? And all of a sudden he peers over around the corner, and he's like, hey! And he's like smoking a cigarette, he's like 15. And I'm trying not to be like that adult, but I'm like, really? Are you old enough? That's bad for you. And then he's like,
vaping.
I know. And then he's like, well, need anybody mow your lawn or something? Like, and my first thought was, God, really? Like, my lawn is so shitty, people are like, we'll mow it for you. Just...
That's not that bad.
Well, no, it looks good now. The landscaper guy came.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I got somebody to come in. He's like, oh, okay.
Good.
Sorry.
He's an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Do kids nowadays even want to do that kind of thing? I don't think kids nowadays even want to do any kind of manual labor.
They need to watch it on YouTube to know how to do it.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to do this. Hold on.
Oh my God! I will watch a YouTube video to learn how to do shits.
I've done it.
Hell yeah!
Change my headlight on my car.
You watched a YouTube video, change the headlight in your car?
Because you got to turn the wheel at an angle. You have to get up underneath.
Oh,
Use one screwdriver on one little screw.
Really?
Unscrew the cap, pull it off.
Uh-huh.
Jam your hand in there. You gotta find the fucking light and then pull it out.
Oh. That sounds like a lot of something.
Yeah, especially to do that during the winter. When the
Ew.
snow and ice on the ground and it's like 20 degrees out, that sucks.
Everything breaks in the winter.
some cars you gotta take the whole front bumper off just to do the headlights.
You know, they're really not thinking of us.
No.
Nope.
These car manufacturers, they're
Engineers.
Fuckers.
like, well, you'll get it done.
Or pay someone.
You'll figure it out.
It's really not our problem. Why would they make it like that? Awful. It's awful.
Very.
I
Don't
need,
think of us.
I need a drink.
Drinking on the job.
It's fun.
I should start doing that.
Yes, I've told you that. Drink on the job. Have your NyQuil
My NyQuil. It's a 2-cup NyQuil day.
shots.
Yeah.
So what was wrong with your car last week? Or was it this week?
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, when my car broke?
Mm-hmm.
It was the, my catalytic converter, disintegrated.
Damn.
It, exploded. And I know, his face. Mine was my face as well. And so it basically threw debris through everything. So I had to have the whole thing flushed out. And then because Hyundai is so kind, because I have a Hyundai. Well, Hyundai, depends how you pronounce it. They don't like to make their parts available outside of their dealerships. So I had to have the part specially ordered from the mechanic. The whole thing cost me $2,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah, I was calling Jesus because I needed some money.
Help,
And Jesus, if you'd like to supply me with some money.
please.
They replaced the whole motor.
No, just the
Damage
just
back.
the catalytic converter, like half the exhaust system.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, we're just going to replace this. And then they were going to do something with welding. I was like, oh boy. It sounded very involved. You know, it's like, it's,
The Eurasian otter.
yeah. It's very, like, frustrating when things happen to your vehicle.
Yep.
Because it's like...
Sucks the life out of your money.
It really does. It's like, oh, god damn it.
Can't afford to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
We've gone over all the parts that suck the money out of us on that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You're lucky. Your car's paid off.
Yep.
That's like one less big thing about the car that you have to do.
I got like another
Lucky.
2 years to go.
2?
Yeah. So, fingers crossed.
No matter what car I have, I always have at least 5 years.
Jesus, man.
Because I'll go back to the place that I get the car,
Yeah.
trade it in, get another one. So what was left on that gets tacked on to the next one.
Oh,
So
Sean.
it always gives me like another 2 to 3 years after that. So I'm always going to be 5 or more.
You're just putting yourself in there, aren't you? Right in
Hasn't
the,
learned yet.
right in the shitter.
Till I'm dead.
Oh my goodness.
You're halfway there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what he said the other day.
You said that the other day?
Did I?
You think you're going to make it to 80?
Yesterday, you're like, I'm halfway there. And you said your age, and you're like, I'm halfway. So like, the rest of my life's half over. I'm like,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Mathematically, that.
It sucks.
Okay, well, all right.
Well, welcome to the 40s, though.
Thank you.
Joe is 40.
Welcome to the comedy show.
Welcome to the jungle. Mommy, pretty, please.
Pickup mode. It's fine. So, it's like, my God, I feel like I'm teaching a class or something. So, class. Goodness gracious. So, oh, do you have sheets? Do you have things back there? No? Yes, no, maybe so? Hey,
No.
don't go making a mess. I don't like messes.
No, you said you're teaching a class, so I was just gonna
Oh,
do something that you would have in class.
now he's just getting notebook paper.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine. Oh, boy. So you'd be that delinquent, yeah. Alright.
I don't know how to make the airplane, so I'm just gonna crumple
Oh,
it
my
through it.
lord. It's not hard to make a paper airplane.
I've never done it in my life.
Watch a YouTube video.
Really?
I'm sure there is one.
Alright, we should do something.
You don't know how to fold paper?
You know that? Origami, bitch.
I can fold, but not, I never folded an airplane.
You never folded a paper airplane?
I'm learning so much about you.
Are you? Are you impressed? That's difficult to do with a,
Are you passing notes in class?
yeah.
Read it out loud.
No, it's just... Anyway, I can
Sarah's gonna teach you.
multitask, actually.
Actually.
So, the way that life works.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Only for certain people. There you go. Make sure. It's like the Wright brothers.
Alright, so we should do something.
Uh-oh. Sounds good. Profanity.
Is it, remember those things in school? You might be a little too young for this, Joe.
I guess that's a compliment.
Yeah, dude, it is, actually.
Actually.
Those things in school, the kids had them,
Oh, yeah.
and they'd be like, I don't know what the heck they... Oh, you passing notes now? And they'd be like, you know, pick a color, and it's like blue, and then you go B-L-U-E.
Oh, yeah.
And then you do the thing, and it's like, pick a
Yeah.
number. And then you lift up the thing, and it's like, you're an asshole. It's like, oh, man!
Remember the footballs?
Oh, yeah, making the footballs.
Figured you'd do that. You got a football.
Sean's working his way to detention. That's what he's doing. I'm sorry, Antonio.
Yeah.
Sean's all right. Antonio's a prick.
Yeah. I'm older now. Lately, I've been developing a bad side. And that's what I'm trying to do now.
Why?
Fuck my old side.
Why?
Sean.
Listen. Just like, what's with the deep sigh? I don't. All right.
Try and change.
Well, I don't. You know.
Change is good and bad.
Sometimes that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up being a good boy. I
Okay.
was never really a bad boy.
Okay.
I kind of want to be now. It might be in my midlife crisis. I don't know.
All right.
You're halfway there.
Yeah.
Joe, we're gonna get like 3 a.m. phone calls.
I turn my phone off when I go to sleep, so come on, get-
Sean's in prison.
You put yours in airplane mode, don't you?
I put mine on Do Not Disturb. The only calls that are allowed through are my parents. So you'd have to call my parents, and then they can call me.
You'd waste your one phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But they would call me. First, my mother, believe me when I tell you, my mother, if you did something stupid, she'd be like, well, what the? Good. Stay in prison. And she has no sympathy at all.
You
I
deserved it.
was at dinner the other night, Monday night, because I have dinner with them every Monday. And my dad came home, and we were talking about something. And my dad, and then I started talking to my mother, and he goes, can you just stop for 1 minute and pass me the thing? And so my mother, he wanted like a napkin or something. So my mother passed him the napkin, and I was like, you couldn't even wait till we were done finishing what it was we had to say? And he goes, no, I don't know how long she's going to sit there hemming and hawing. And I started dying. I'm like, you're still hemming and hawing? He's like, yes, she's always hemming and hawing.
I love the stories when you're with your parents. They're freaking hilarious.
Oh, they can be, yeah.
You read a whole book.
I probably could. I told my mother, I'm like, I just want to put like cameras in here, just like hidden cameras,
You should.
and just watch you
Netflix
because
would pick it up.
you're both insane. My dad has a hearing aid, but when he doesn't feel like responding, he shuts it off. Well, my mother,
Lucky.
but my mother bought it, so every time, like, I was in the living room one time, and he had it off, and we were just watching TV, and he's like, and she was asking him a question, and so
I
he
think
didn't
made the
like,
TV.
I don't know, he just wasn't paying attention. And then, like, he didn't respond quick enough, so she took, like, a pillow and threw it at him, and she's like, I didn't spend all that money on those goddamn hearing aids, you can ignore me.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't want to talk.
I don't want to hear you, woman.
I know. He's crazy.
When I go to Happy Land, click.
Yeah. Said, I wish I could shut out the world that easy.
That would be nice.
He, he's kind of retired, so he works at a local farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's pick your own season now, which is his worst time of year. So he was in the fields. He's toiling in the fields, and this woman comes in, and she has 2 kids. One is older, one is younger. And the younger kid, my dad was like, Tara, if I didn't think I'd get in trouble, I would have kicked this kid. Because, like, she was like, oh, hey, Mikey, we're going to pick strawberries. Won't that be fun? No. And then she hands him a thing, and she hands him, like, the bucket to put strawberries in, and he just throws it. So my dad's watching this, and he's steaming because he hates disrespect. So he's like, So eventually the kid was, like, running up and down the aisle. So my dad made it, like, he got in front of him, and he was like, hey, stop it!
Did it work?
And he's like, go find your mother!
Go bastard.
Go find some respect.
Nah, I don't know. I was just laughing. I'm like, you're going to get in trouble down there. I don't care.
Find your manners.
He was a rude little shit. I'm like, yeah, but that's that mother's rude little shit. That's her problem.
That's how kids are, though.
They are.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I don't. Let's use our inside voice.
These days,
Billy.
the inside and outside aren't really different.
I know it.
When you talk to kids, you gotta text them.
I know.
Yep.
Dinner time.
Oh my god.
Fine.
And they're only from here to there.
Yeah. You could have just been like, oh. You seen those commercials with those those apps on the phone where you can like shut all the electronics down in the house. Oh my god.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would piss a lot of people off.
Oh, I know.
My house.
My friend texted me this video today, and I was watching it, and I was like, oh my god. It was this kid. I don't know if anybody's out there has seen this yet. Probably. It was this kid, and he was in his backyard, and his dad had all of his Xbox games on the lawn.
They ran him over.
And he was going to run him over with the lawnmower. And the kid's like, what are you doing? And the dad's like, you need to get a job. And the kid's like, I have a job. And he's like, no, a real job. Because apparently he thought sitting in the house playing video games was his job. And he's like,
paying him for this.
It could be.
Well, he goes, Dad, I'm going to be doing this for my work. I'm good. You don't understand how good I am. I am good. And the dad's like, I don't give a shit. Get a real job. So then he mows him over and the kid starts, he looks, I don't know how old he looks. He looks about 19, 20, but he starts crying. Well, there was a sequel to the video where he was coming out of like this shed, right? And his brother's got the camcorder and he's like, hey, what are you doing in that shed? And he's like, oh, don't go in there. And the brother's like, why? And he's like, well, I was working out. And he's like, you were working out in there? And he's like, yeah, everything's sweaty. Don't go in there. It's sweaty. So the brother's like, all right. And he kind of like just up and he's like, no, don't go in there. It's sweaty. You don't understand. It's very sweaty. So the brother's like, okay, I won't go in there.
Cooties.
So he starts to make like he's walking away and the kid's walking toward the house and he turns around and runs back in. And he runs into the shed, he opens it up, and the kid had set up a whole gaming area, a hidden gaming area behind like panels of like what do you call that? That wood, like
Shiplap.
yeah, just like plywood. And the kid's like, oh, he's not supposed to be doing this. He's gonna get in trouble. So he hit the cam, and then he runs outside, and the kid comes back in, and he's like, oh, and he sits down, and he's eating chips and playing a game. And like 5 minutes later, the dad comes in. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, no. So the dad grabs it, the whole Xbox. He grabs the Xbox and he's running. And the kid's like, no, Dad, I bought that on Craigslist.
Sledgehammer.
No, he runs over to the pool.
Oh.
And he throws it in the pool. And the kid's like, no. And he jumps in after it. And he's got to dive to the bottom of the pool for it. So then he comes back up and he's like, oh my god, you don't understand. And then Dad's like, so what? And he like doesn't understand that it's an electronic and now it's ruined. He's like, it'll be fine, it's just wet. And he's like, no, you ruined it.
Throw it in rice.
So then he runs over to the lawn, he puts it down on the lawn, he comes back with a leaf blower, and he's gonna try to dry it with a leaf blower.
Good luck.
I'm like, yeah, that puppy's gone.
Yeah.
I was dying though.
Those
I'm
are
like
$500.
yeah, they are expensive. I don't know how much they are on Craigslist.
Probably like $250.
But I was like, man, I'd be
Half
pissed.
price deals today only.
Yeah, I was like, Sears has them.
Sears going out of business.
Are they really?
I heard.
Oh.
I don't know if it's true.
Well, they were tied with Kmart.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Kmart's gone.
Toys R Us
is gone. I saw this this article. Somebody was cleaning. One of the old employees of Toys R Us was cleaning like behind the shelves and stuff. They found an old Nintendo 64 Super Mario Kart game,
Nice.
brand new, caked in dust.
Yeah.
I was like, sell it.
You know how much they can get for that?
Probably a lot.
eBay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Or just a regular auction?
Have you found the planted cheese balls yet?
I haven't looked.
You haven't looked?
No.
Sorry. I haven't had an opportunity either.
I forgot all about it.
Haven't they
Yeah.
had cheese balls in like
No, Joe.
It's new? Cheese balls are new?
No, Joe.
I've seen
Planters-
cheese balls before.
Not the Planters ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
What makes
They've
them...
been discontinued since like 2000. Yeah. They brought them back for a limited time.
What's so great about them?
They Planters.
It's the shit.
It's
My bad.
It's got the little peanut on the.
It's the king of balls.
What's great about it? It's got a peanut on the cover. It's a little peanut.
Wow. It's the little things that make Tara happy.
It is, isn't it?
Cute little guy with the little tap.
Little top hat.
Yeah.
Little top hat. Little peanut.
The monocle.
That's all right.
Not as cool looking
Yeah,
as the Monopoly
cane,
guy.
You got the little.
Coat with tails.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like a penguin.
Like a penguin.
Little wings.
Yeah, the Red Bull.
We've spent way too much time talking about Mr. Peanut now. Goodness gracious. Oh my.
Oh, it's fun.
Is it?
Yes.
Glad you have fun.
Oh, what you got there?
Oh, I have stuff. Well, I didn't want to not have anything.
She came prepared.
She's the
I
only one.
try.
I didn't come prepared. I'm sorry.
I'm winging it.
These are really small type.
Ooh.
That's how it's printed.
Well, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it's small type.
Click the bold button.
All right. This is actually kind of funny. Ha ha. And
Aha.
I thought it would be funny to share.
Oh, good.
Share
Touche.
away.
In the NFL draft, right?
Mhm.
A lot of the what do you call it? The agents and stuff like that have to make these bullet points for the NFL prospects, right? And after years of doing this, like they're trying to be creative with it, and it actually just ends up looking. It actually ends up looking like a bad Tinder profile. Like Tinder is a dating app. For anybody who's like, what the fuck? It's like a bad dating app profile. So keep that in your mind.
Swipe right.
Exactly. I'm swiping left. He's
Is
got.
that an original Skeletor?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
you've distracted Joe now. Well, all right. So, keeping that in mind, here are some NFL draft prospect bullet points that sound really nasty. He has outstanding size and length.
Oh, my.
On and off the field.
Can pump and recalibrate.
All right. Dude.
Has a broad waist with a thick trunk.
What the fuck?
I want to know what the thick trunk is, personally. Built like a bank safe with wide hips, broad chest, and powerful limbs. A bank safe. I love it.
He's secure
Here you go.
with his manhood.
Nice.
I'm secure with my manhood.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. Lack of length makes it tough for him to sustain.
Are these all real?
Boy.
These are all real.
Oh my
It
God.
even has the player next to it.
Holy shit.
Lack of length makes it tough for him to sustain is a player called Billy Price from Ohio State.
Billy.
Billy is smallish for interior life. I love this one. Plays the ball and not the man.
Well, sometimes you gotta.
This way.
Yeah, I know.
Daisy agrees.
Big, long, and athletic.
All right.
Yeah. Elite wiggle triggered by.
Alright. Back up. You say wiggle?
Yes, I did say wiggle. Elite wiggle
Wiggle it just a little bit.
triggered by fluid hips. I'm turning red.
Oh my
This is too funny.
god.
Like on Happy Gilmore. It's
Yeah.
all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
Fluid and explosive in space. Built like a wall of granite with exceptional lean muscle mass. That was not so bad. Outstanding hand placement. Exactly. Movement is fluid and feel for position comes naturally. Oh,
He
God.
comes natural.
Yep.
Oh,
Body, body control for late adjustments is adequate. Needs more consistent latch and finish with hands. Oh,
my cheeks are sore now.
can drive it with velocity. Muscular, well-proportioned frame. Can get grabby in man coverage.
Don't we all?
Someone's been reading my Facebook
Yeah.
profile. initial get off is below average. Thick and broad across lower body.
All right.
Can uncork suddenly when it breaks open. Smooth, fluid, and flexible. And the last one,
You gotta have flexible.
deep balls hang on him.
Deep balls.
Deep balls hang on him. These are real NFL prospect
Oh my god.
things.
Nice.
Can you search for this purposely? It just came up randomly. I was like, yeah,
Joe,
I'll click on it.
I won't discuss how I came across it. Let's just say that I came across it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Skeet.
Mm-mm.
Oh, dripping.
Yeah, I know. I'm good. No, I just,
I love having dirty episodes. We gotta have
So
more
not
of
some of
these.
these players.
We gotta have more of these.
deep balls hang on him.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my goodness. You alright?
I'm sore.
Take a deep breath. I'm
You
sorry.
okay, Antonio?
Oh, I know. I've called him something different for like 8 times now. Oh, my eye watered on that one.
My cheeks are sore. I'm smiling.
Lack of length makes it tough to sustain.
A bad problem.
Yeah, that's a bad problem to have. I don't know. This one's not dirty. I'm sorry.
Aww.
I know. Well,
Whoa!
that's just we're having Joe by,
Hi.
right? That we can. Because
I-
Joe,
I'm
you
here
work,
by and
you,
by.
You work in a garage, do you not?
I do.
All right. So I thought, well, he's a car guy who works in a garage, so
Let's
I
find
thought it
something
would,
you can relate to.
yeah. So this is like weird or facepalm worthy stories from mechanics.
Oh shit.
Like stupid things customers have done.
Oh, customers have done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can relate to that.
My nephew actually was telling me he
I was lost.
he had an older guy come in to get an inspection sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy came in to get the sticker, and somebody else had drove it into the bay.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody bothered to tell him that the driver's door doesn't open from the inside.
Oh,
So he got in the car to do like the wipers and lights and all that stuff.
right.
And he went to get out. He goes, I couldn't get out. So I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah, he goes, so I finally was able to get out of the car, and he's like, so he walks over to the guy, and he goes, well, if I'd known that your car doesn't open from the from the inside, I wouldn't have bothered doing your inspection at all. He's like, because I can't pass you, I have to fail you. And he's like, so the guy starts like yelling at him, and he's like, listen, and he's an older guy, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So he goes, listen, at your age... He goes, listen, at your age, if something happens, you're going to crawl over to the passenger side to get out? He's like, with that cane? I don't think so. So then the guy starts shaking his cane in his face, and he's like, hey!
You're a whippersnapper.
Exactly.
Hey, Sonny.
So I was like, oh, Jesus. That's awful. It's not in my notes.
Oh.
It's one I remember. Because he just told me the other day. Customer states heater doesn't work until the car has been running for 20 minutes. Every time it gets cold, this happens.
No surprise.
Hang on. I've been fighting that one back. Sorry.
You did good.
I know. My cousin used to live with her sister and her sister's husband. The brother-in-law would take care of all the car maintenance for all the vehicles. He would just do it and not mention a word to them. The cousin in question moved to D.C., and after about 9 months and having driven her car from Chicago to D.C., the engine seized. When the mechanic asked her when was the last time she changed her oil, she insisted she never had to do that in Chicago, and this must be a new thing you people in D.C. came up with.
Really?
Trying to get my money.
Wow.
I never had to do that in Chicago. Jesus.
Some people just add oil. They don't even change it. They're like, I just add it. Be fine. Like,
Jesus. Yeah.
I gotta get mine done next week.
Oh, mine's getting
I'm
done.
overdue.
Mine's getting done tomorrow. I'm like 1,000 miles overdue. I know. I've been waiting. Customer comes in complaining of a heavy clunking when stopping and the same clunk when moving from a stop. He had a bowling ball in his trunk.
No, that's an idiot.
That is an idiot. Yes, it is. Had a car come into my shop a few years back complaining of a rattling when driving. 3 road tests later, we find the bearings, brakes, steering, and suspension components all good. Exhaust was solid. Turns out the rattling was from plastic hubcaps. Some of the clips had started to break, and when driving, the cap would shift and rattle on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
We explained to the customer and asked if they wanted to buy a new set, just take them off or leave it as is. They declined new ones and want the caps back on. So we put it on and put it all back together, charged them for the inspection, send them on their way. 5 minutes later, they're back, complaining the still rattling.
Wow, they need a slap on the head.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's a long story.
Idiots.
I know. I remember this story. This woman's a bitch. What's our time? Our time is good. I replaced the clutch in a car for a woman, then returned her car. By the time I got back to the workshop, there was a message waiting for me that she couldn't get the car into gear. This was before mobile phones. I was driven back to her house,
Good old days.
which I know, where she stood waiting for me, looking like she was ready to murder someone. I got in the car, started up, foot on the clutch, and into first, and drove it around the block.
Beep, beep.
Up and down through every gear. She apologized. We went off, went back to the workshop, went back to the workshop once more, only to get the same woman on the phone. This time she was not just a little angry, but screaming all kinds of curses at us.
Nope.
Back we went to her house, and you guessed it, started the car, put it in gear, drove it around the block again. This time, instead of leaving, we told her to try it before we left. She jumped in, started the car, crunched the gears loud and hard. It was at this point that the penny finally dropped. I'm almost 6 feet tall. This woman is about 4 or 5. She didn't move her seat forward, so she was only hitting the clutch pedal quarter of the way down. After explaining this to her, I get an earful of abuse from her, saying that she didn't even know her seat could move, and how was she supposed to adjust it? Oh, and she would be writing to the newspapers to tell everyone about bad service.
The newspapers? No. Who reads the newspaper?
People do.
One person, this lady.
This lady.
I've never read a newspaper.
What's a newspaper?
I know. I love that. She's like, I didn't even know my seat could move. What kind of voodoo are you working on my car?
One time I was driving a lady home, and I used the cruise control, and she just saw like the light in the dash. Like, what's that light? I'm like, that's the cruise control. She's like, what's that? I'm like, really? You're how old? And you don't know what a cruise control is?
Wow.
It maintains your speed when you're driving, so you don't get pulled over. And she's like, oh, I didn't know my car had that.
How
Yes.
fancy!
Yes.
I'm like the Kennedys over here with cruise control.
It's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
People are so dumb.
I went to a vocational school, and one of the shops I had to take was like a diesel repair shop.
Mm-hmm.
And the instructor was telling us this time, because he did that for a living, and he's like, one time this woman came into the shop, and she didn't know how to say the shifter was broken, so she came in and said, my Perndle is broken.
Perndle?
Perndle, park, reverse, drive.
Oh.
Drive. My Perndle.
Wow, I never heard that one.
Oh yeah, I always remember that story, because I'm like, that is the level of ignorance. She could have like said, oh, the thing you used to get it in gear. Instead she's like, my Perndle. Which actually sounds like something you would see a gynecologist about.
My car's dick won't move.
It's not in move. Oh my goodness. I might as well just do this now. Daisy. Come on, get out of the way. You finding something?
see if there's something over here that I can jump in with after you.
Alright.
You know, I'm talking too much.
You haven't shown. So, continuing.
Yeah. Should we do the clap?
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
So when you edit the video, you'll know.
Yeah. you went to take the whole thing upon this. Alright. Daisy, move. I need to be in frame.
I'll move over.
Okay. Engine smoking after topping off engine oil. Customer literally topped off the engine with 16 quarts.
Oh, damn.
That's a lot of fucking
Sprayers don't work. Engine malfunction light on. Customer filled the crankcase with windshield washer fluid.
Wow.
Compass.
They're labeled.
You read?
Compass doesn't work in rearview mirror. Not an option with this vehicle. Customer states wife car has compass.
So is Ralphie's gun.
I got a good one. This lady came in one time. She wanted a car fixed. What kind of car you have? Red. Sweet.
Hey, that's great.
Those rare red cars. Well, I'm like, we might not have parts for it. She's like, really? I'm just messing with you. She's like, oh.
Asshole. No tip for you. Customer requests steering wheel buttons be swapped to the other side.
They're left-handed? Are they a southpaw?
I don't know. Water leaks in car when convertible top is down.
You think?
Is it recording?
Yes.
Oh, that's all good.
Oh,
Never
we're all
mind.
set. We're all set.
All right.
Tire fell off after driving on it flat for a month.
A month?
They
How did it last that long?
I have no idea.
It wouldn't last like an hour. Jesus.
Wow.
That's a lesson for you folks. It'll fall off.
I only go to church and back. So once a week.
Eh,
So it took 4 days for it to die to fall.
I guess. Customer drove on donut spare until it popped, then kept on driving till the rim was utterly destroyed. When she got to the shop with the tow driver, was flabbergasted she had to pay. Really?
It's not in warranty?
I took a semester of automotive classes in college. We'd work on random people's cars who didn't have money to pay for parts or labor.
Nice.
One lady and her car towed in because it was making weird noises. We checked a few basic things first, then started to see what the noise sounded like, and the exhaust system spit out a whole bunch of nasty sludge and smoke, but wouldn't actually run. As it turns out, she thought the opening to add gas was the opening to add everything.
Oh my shit.
Wow.
And when she first started having problems, she dumped oil, antifreeze, brake fluid, and washer fluid in there to make sure everything was...
Yeah.
to make sure she wasn't running
Holy
low on any fuel.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's awesome. But you know what? They should make a car that does that. Just like
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
Just one thing.
Yeah, it's called electric car.
No, I don't trust electric cars.
That's,
I'd be afraid it wouldn't get me too long.
there's some companies that aren't going to be making any gas cars anymore.
Yeah. This lady came in and asked if we could install our new tires if we make sure we install the tire. Oh God, it's like one of those things. It's like the way they wrote it. This lady came in and asked if when we install her new tires, if we could make sure we install the air nozzle on the bottom so it would be easier to put air in them when she needs to.
For your convenience.
Yes.
Ooh, hit the mic.
I had to call roadside assistance once because my car wouldn't start. It was 2 a.m. and I was freezing and had no jumper cables, so was getting a bit stressed out. I don't know why it wouldn't start. I called my cousin. He came and couldn't figure it out either. The tow truck guy showed up, had one look in the car and said, "It's in drive."
Wow.
He put it in park and it's started right up.
Holy hell.
How'd they get the key out?
I don't know. Oh. I had one guy leave the back door of a 4-door sedan open. Oh, this is an actual mechanic mistake. Here we go. Had one guy leave the back door of a 4-door sedan open and back it off a 4-post lift. Post on the right caught the door and bent it forward till it was flush with the passenger door.
Suicide doors.
Yeah. Had another co-worker who removed all the lug nuts off a wheel before lifting the vehicle off the ground. He hadn't even set the hoist up, just started removing nuts. Called me over because he was confused as to why he couldn't get the wheel off.
Tires like the first thing to learn.
Not that guy.
He was absent on lug nut day.
I'm sick on lug nut day. I'm behind. I myself had a... This is great. I myself have had butthole puckering moments.
Silver.
Butthole puckering moments.
Ah.
Where the lock on one of the posts of a 4-door lift stays locked, but the rest of the lift keeps lowering. In essence, the vehicle starts tipping towards one direction and will keep doing so unless you lift it back off the lock.
Right.
Did this with a BMW 5 Series that rolled till the tire chuck stopped it because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, fuck.
Ah, yes.
Gotta pay attention.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Put your phone down and work on your car.
I had a coworker who forgot to take the expensive alignment head reflectors off the passenger side of the vehicle after aligning it. Drove it around the block and somehow they managed to stay on. Luckily, as they are at least $600 a piece.
Damn.
Cheap.
Joe, nope, not cheap.
How did it stay on? Damn.
I have no luck.
Luck. Yeah.
Luck.
No.
Okay.
Ah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are also on the YouTube, as we said earlier.
What's up?
Check that out if you like.
Chickadee Jack.
Like, comment, subscribe, send me job offers.
Good ones.
Massachusetts.
I know. Thank you to Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for joining us again.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Great to have you.
Ah, it's great to have you.
Car
That
sex
came
ed.
out wrong.
It's always great to have me.
Car sex ed.
It's great having Antonio around.
Antonio.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get to shut up now. Antonio/Sean has something to tell you. I'm out of frame.
She's on frame. Have a good everything. Car sex ed.
Car sex ed.